Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. And we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader weekly broadcast. I am Sami, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well. Hope your weekend is going great. We're going to talk about the market and I'll go over my swing ideas for Monday. Before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss in this video is for educational purposes only. If you're new to our channel, please be sure to download the free ebook. Link for that is in the description. And if you have any questions, leave a comment or email us info@t3live.com. If you find benefit in today's video, be sure to hit the like button and hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. So first off, I like to go over the market and then we'll go over this watch list here. As always, I post my entire daily watch list in the video description, but I choose a handful to go over each time. This time I kind of have like one too many. Maybe it looks like I have a dozen or so plays. The market, to me, unexpectedly broke down, meaning I wasn't expected this breakdown. This happened on Thursday. Anytime you have an uptrend like this, I never ever expect a breakdown or count on it happening. When it happens, it happens. So I never try to anticipate the breakdown. I almost never do. And neither did I, this time around. So, and the market broke down. You can see it even better on the SPY because the SPY had kind of a tighter uptrend and a cleaner breakdown. And so now the question is, okay, now that we broke down, where to? Or what's the next stop? Is it gonna be here? I mean, we're almost there already. Is it going to be here? The next support area. And so it's not easy. Why is it not easy? Because of the weekly uptrend. This is still a beautiful weekly uptrend with room only to about here. So let's say the top of this pivot or here somewhere, that's 560 something. That's like 1%. Is that all we're gonna see? 1% downside? I don't know. But the weekly uptrend is super tight. So unless you're thinking that we're going to break it or break below the 20, which we might, it's hard to, again, unless you think we're going to break the 20, it will be hard to picture the market breaking the next support area. Now, if you say we should break the 20 on the weekly, then we really have room to here. On the SPY, that's 540 on the SPY. Now the 20 on the weekly is about here, 565 or so. So I think we're going to challenge the 20 on the weekly, probably break under it. We'll see, but it's not an easy call. And the IWM is a total mess. The IWM, I don't know if you are aware of this or not, we actually have a breakout failure if we end up breaking down. If we end up breaking down, that means we had a massive breakout failure in the IWM, which means we should see at least about 208, 207 on the IWM. But it remains to be seen whether we're going to break the 20 on the weekly or not, okay, on the Qs and the SPY. Now, so that's the first thing that we're going to have to tackle. But what if on Monday the market actually gaps up or shoots up? Then this was just a shakeout. Then this was slightly more bearish than this attempt here to break down. You see what I mean? So I don't know what the bias is. We'll find out on Monday. More likely than not lower. But if we actually shoot up and break above the recent highs on the hourly chart, this is the hourly chart of the Qs, okay, then we're back to bullish. It means this was just an attempt to shake out the longs. Okay, now I'm not saying this is likely. I think it's unlikely that we would take out the highs here. I think it would be unlikely. But if it happens, it means this was just a shakeout, okay? And that's my take on the market. Not an easy call. Short term, looking lower. How much downside is there? It depends on whether you think the market is going to break that weekly uptrend or not. If you think we will, then we have plenty of room. Okay? The long ideas, I got ATUS, which doesn't look so good on the daily, but if you look at the weekly, that's pretty. That's really pretty. If you look at the monthly, that's not bad either. Now, the best monthly charts are the ones that have a 20 MA that's flattened out, meaning it went flat for a long time and started to curl up, and price went sideways and then broke off that rising 20. And maybe I can give you a couple of examples. Let me see if I can fix my level 2 window. I can't. Okay. I'm not going to try right now. So let me just show you. I'll just type them here. Like ZM, right? That's pretty good. Actually better than the ZM, maybe Twilio. That's better. It went flat for longer. Twilio and ZM were in the newsletter. RNG I'm not in, and I would like to find a way in it. RNG is looking really good. I actually had an order for it, but it gapped just above it, over here. I had an order for it over that base, and it gapped just above it, and I never got filled. So DOCU is another example that comes to mind on the monthly chart. We're in it already. Look at that beautiful monthly. If you want from this list, UIS is beautiful also. But UIS has its problems, I think. But so the ATUS is nice. It's not the nicest I've ever seen. It's just nice on the daily and the weekly. The entry for this would be over this bar's high, which is 276. I would give it to 219 as the stop, under 219. AUPH is also setting up as a long. Nice daily, nice weekly. How much room does it have? To 850? Then that's not enough if it's just 850. If you think it has room to 950, then it would be a lot better. Long, stop. Okay? So as you can see, my friends, trading is how you see it. It's not, nobody knows whether it's going to get only to 850 and stop at 850. I think the high here is 850. Yeah, that's exactly 850. Or whether it has more room to 940 or so. You see what I mean? If you think it has room to 940, then this would be, I would totally do it. If you think it's only going to get to 850, then I wouldn't do it. You see what I mean? Because it doesn't have enough room. This AVTE, I'm not too familiar with it, but had a massive gap down. It's been basing for 5 months and gapped up on Thursday. Friday put in an inside bar. Does it look good over 3 by 245? Maybe. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Here's the hourly chart. So it is interesting. Comp, I thought it would gap up on earnings, but it just was not a good pattern to play. So I didn't do it, and I regret it because I really like the comp. I was in it. We were in it as a swing because of the monthly. Remember that monthly chart that I showed you on RNG, the DOCU, Zoom, and Twilio? This is the same, except that I'm not in. And I really like it higher, long, maybe over here, and then target 1350 or so. Okay? And then the stop would be down here. So over the recent highs, over this bar's high, 680, stop under 537, target 1350. Obviously, it's not a short-term play. The CORZ is a daily buy setup. It's a Bitcoin stock, right here long, stop under. Notice the prior buy setups all worked, every one of them, even when it's sloppy, they worked. So we'll see. I have 2 positions in it. One was taken here, and one I don't remember honestly here, probably. So we'll see. This is a Bitcoin stock, and Bitcoin, had an attempt to break out. I'm looking at the charts of Bitcoin over here. Had a breakout and got sold. Look at the weekly bar. Look at the weekly bar that's forming. It's a big topping tail bar. Nice pattern overall on the weekly chart of Bitcoin, but a huge topping tail, which means short-term distribution, like a breakout failure almost. And that's unfortunately what happened with the whole market in general, especially if you look at the small cap stocks. The IWM attempted to break out and then, just like always, failed. So far, it hasn't totally failed, but a lot of the patterns that I've been watching got destroyed, so they're not good now. This is what's good still. Disney, open position, but I really like it still. Monthly buy setup on the Disney, beautiful monthly buy setup. It does need to take out, 97 60 for us to say this buy setup totally triggered, right? But if you wait for 97.50 to get taken out, is it 97.50? Yeah, 97.60, then it would be a really big stop up here. So another approach would be to get it over here. Stop right here. Tight stop, okay, on the Disney monthly buy setup. EYPT is a beautiful hourly. So this is a rounded bottom on the hourly chart, so long right here. Over the tail, obviously. There's the tail right here. Stop under. And target, we'd have to look at the weekly, probably. Target somewhere up here, probably. So nice rounded bottom on that daily chart. Look at that rounded bottom. I'm in the LAC, and it's the same. I mean, this is maybe a bigger rounded bottom, but the same concept, okay? As the EYPT. HIPO is, I mean, I wish I played it that day, because HIPO has a nice weekly, also beautiful weekly, and also beautiful monthly. Look at HIPO monthly. Let me take a look at the Vimeo. Okay, it's this, wow, it's the same. Reminded me of the Vimeo. So here's Vimeo, here's HIPO. Holy cow, they look very much alike. I think the HIPO looks a little bit better because it broke out. I'm watching the Vimeo, but it's not ready. That's why it's not on the list. But I'm watching the Vimeo to play along. Okay. So anyways, back to the HIPO. It has an hourly buy setup. So I'm watching it as a long, maybe over 2180, 82. Stop under the lows, under 1950 or under 1980 is okay too, but I would say 1950 as a long-term play on the HIPO. IOVA is a monthly buy setup, beautiful chart on the monthly and the weekly. I mean, that's a beautiful chart. On the IOVA, long right here, stop right here. Okay, and if you look at the monthly, it's a monthly buy setup, transition A buy setup. So it's a beautiful chart all around, daily, weekly, monthly. IP, I'm already in it. I played it as an earnings play, kept it. Looks higher, 1, 2, 3. So long up here, stop right here. And target is about 60 bucks, I think, if I remember correctly. So this is not a long-term play. Yeah, target is up here, 60 bucks, exactly. Could get to 65, but initially I would say to 60. LICY, I'm not too sure about. I like the daily a lot, but I don't like the weekly on the LICY. Oops, I typed over it. So LICY is, if I type .w, it takes me to the weekly chart, right? .m, letter M, it takes me to the monthly. So sometimes I'm in the watch list and I type IW, I need to be clicked on the chart. So the weekly is tough on the LICY. That's back to the daily, but daily looks higher to 4. PRQR, beautiful daily buy setup. What a bullish move up on the PRQR. Long right here, stop. The biggest stop would be down here. If you want tighter stop, right here, which is the hourly pivot. It shouldn't fail on it. If it does, it will probably end up failing all the way, coming in all the way. So might as well use the tighter stop. Real relay or RELY is like a 1, 2, 3. It's not exactly a 1, 2, 3. So long right here, stop right here. Looks higher. It's tough because the bar, I mean, I love the bottoming tail bar, but I wish it was up here at the top. Then it would have been truly a 1, 2, 3. Also doesn't have a ton of room, maybe up to the prior highs right here. So 21, maybe 22. Yeah, 21.20. So $21. But looks nice. Starbucks is a beautiful breakout. I like Starbucks a lot. Issue with Starbucks is I'm not sure about the reward to risk on this play. So long, we know where the stop goes. It's definitely gonna have to go here. That's it. I wouldn't use the tighter stop, which would be under the bottoming tail. So Starbucks looks good on the daily. Looks really good. Weekly is a beauty also. But where do you think Starbucks is headed to? If you think it's headed only to 106 or so, that's not enough. If you think it's headed to 115, love it, because I really like that daily, weekly breakout. Monthly is okay too. So that's the thing, is if you think it's 105, 106, not enough. If you think it's headed to 115, then I think it's totally doable. The TAL has a beautiful weekly chart. This is a China stock. The China stocks, after shooting up like crazy, got destroyed. And I had 4 or 5. I now have 1. I think 1. Yeah, I think 1 position left. But they were looking amazing, and they collapsed. The TAL is still looks really good on the weekly. The entry should be over 1166, but can also maybe get it over this bar's high, 1140, and then stop under this bar's low, 1030, 1040. Okay, on the TAL, target 1 would be 13, target 2 long term. Depends on what the China market, China stocks do. The UIS has a nice monthly chart. Okay, weekly is good too. It does have that resistance above at $8, and then hourly is a beauty. Over the base, stop under it. Okay, it's not a base, but you know, it looks higher. That's the UIS. These are the longer term plays that I like. And the short ideas, I have ANAB, short under the base, stop above it. Okay, I don't know what the target is on this one. I think it's 1850 actually. This bar is low. Oh, no, this bar is low. 1849, so 1850. The ANRO is an hourly base breakdown. Looks good. I would have liked it more if it had popped and then dropped. Then, you know, a double bottom is bullish. A double bottom failure is bearish. So the failure of a bullish pattern is very bearish. So it would have been nice actually if it popped a little bit more and then failed. But we'll see. I like it short still under the base. Stop over 450. Forward looks lower. So forward looks good under this bar's low, which is 1018. Target is going to be the prior pivot low, 950. And then the stop would be over 1055. The LI is a China stock that gapped down, has a 1, 2, 3, short under 2480 by 2570. Target is going to be 2360 on the LI, and then the ORKT is a beauty, but I don't know what the target is, because if you say it's the prior low, then that's not enough room. So short under the base, stop above, right, and then hope that it crashes through the prior low and continues lower. What a bearish gap on this stock. This is the risk that we take by holding things overnight. So this is it, is that you could wake up any day and have a large gap against you or a large gap in your favor. I think the way I like to put it is, actually I'm stealing this from Jesse Livermore. He said, you know, if you trade along the line of least resistance, most of the time the news will come out in your favor, meaning stocks go along the line of least resistance. So if you're trading with the trend, most of the time the gaps will be in your favor, not against you. So, and that's been my experience too. Every now and then I'll have a gap against me, but every so often I also have a gap in my favor. So that's kind of my take on that. Okay guys, thank you so much for sticking around till the end. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and best of luck with your trading next week. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.